Hello everyone, Prasad Domala here. Today I'll show you how to install and configure Oracle WebCenter Sites 12c, that is 12.2.1 version on Oracle Linux 6.7 64-bit virtual machine. Let me briefly tell you about WebCenter's suite of products and basic concepts of WebCenter Sites before doing the installation. WebCenter suite consists of three products: WebCenter Sites, WebCenter Content, and WebCenter Portal. WebCenter Sites is mostly used for external facing and end user driven websites, and it was previously owned by Fatware. WebCenter Content is basically document or record management product, and it was previously called as Talent UCM, that is Universal Content Manager. WebCenter Portal is for enterprise and composite applications with various portlets and pagelets, which connects to various backend systems. Now let's discuss some basic concepts and terminology of WebCenter Sites. WebCenter Sites is a web experience management system enabling users to build and manage desktop or mobile websites. An administrator is responsible to create sites and assign business users to respective sites. There are three types of administrators: general administrator, who is the super user and who will have unrestricted access to all components on WebCenter Sites. Next, we have site administrator, who will have access to certain sites. And finally, a workflow administrator, who will have access to create and manage workflows. Coming to the consoles available to administrators, there are two consoles or interfaces: WebCenter Sites admin interface, which contains sites configuration tools and system settings related to ACLs, publishing, cache, asset types, and so on. The second console is web admin interface, which is web experience management admin interface, which is used to create and manage sites, users, and roles. We can use this console to assign users to respective sites as well. Next, let's discuss the components of WebCenter Sites. Firstly, we have WebCenter Sites core managed server, which provides core sites functionality and hosts administration consoles. Next, we have satellite server, which gets installed along with WebCenter Sites. Satellite server provides additional layer of cache, which improves performance by placing content closer to the end users. It also reduces load on the WebCenter Sites server. In production environment, satellite server will be configured on a different physical machine, but for our demo today, we'll configure it on the same physical machine as WebCenter Sites. Next, we have WebCenter Sites site capture, which acts as a crawler to capture the content information after successful publishing. We can also trigger crawling manually on a periodic basis. Next, we have a component called as WebCenter Sites Visitor Services, which provides visitor profile storage and management. Visitor Services enables administrators aggregate visitor attributes from different sources and link together using an unique visitor ID. That's a brief overview of WebCenter Sites and its components. Now let me tell you about the environment we'll be building today. As I said earlier, we'll be using Oracle Linux 6.7 64-bit virtual machine. WebCenter Sites runs on top of Oracle WebLogic server. And in 12c, we don't need to install WebLogic separately. It comes as part of Fusion middleware infrastructure installation, along with the Oracle Common and RCU. It also installs EM and JRF domain templates. So we'll be installing Fusion middleware infrastructure 12c, that is 12.2.1. And in the same middleware home, we'll install WebCenter Sites product 12c, that is 12.2.1 as well. Next, we'll create a domain which contains admin server and 5 managed servers: WC Sites, Satellite, Site Capture, Visitor Services, and Insights. The schema for WebCenter Sites will be stored in Oracle Database 12c. We'll also need JDK to run Fusion middleware and WebCenter Sites, and I'll be using JDK 1.8. I have a VMware on which I have already installed Oracle Database 12c and JDK 1.8. Now let's get into the installation process, and the first step is to install Fusion middleware infrastructure. So here I'm navigating to my software directory, and I have two jar files, one for Fusion middleware infrastructure and one for WebCenter Sites. So let's start with the infrastructure installation using infrastructure.jar file. So at this stage, you need to make sure that your Java home is set properly and your Java executable is added in the path. So in my case, Java is already added in the path. So I'll start the installer using java-jar and then your jar file name. Okay, this is Fusion Middleware Infrastructure Installations welcome screen. You can click next on this screen and you can skip auto updates. Here you need to provide Fusion Middleware home. So I'm giving it as U01 app Oracle product FMW. So provide your middleware home and click next. Here we have two options, Fusion Middleware Infrastructure and Fusion Middleware Infrastructure with examples. I'm going ahead with the first option. Make sure all the prerequisite checks are successful here and click next. And you can skip security updates as well. Click yes to confirm. And this is the summary screen for your Fusion Middleware Infrastructure installation. You can just click install here. So I'll just pause the video here and I'll get back when this installation process is complete. Okay, now the Fusion Middleware Infrastructure installation process is complete. So you can click next here and then finish. Now let's install WebCenter Sites product in the same middleware home. So let's execute java-jar command again, and then this time we need to use wc sites _ generic.jar. This is Oracle WebCenter Sites installations welcome screen. So you can click next here. You can see that there is a warning here. Before proceeding, ensure that you have installed Oracle Fusion Middleware Infrastructure 12c. So you need to do the infrastructure installation first before starting your WebCenter Sites installation. So we have done that already. So you can click next here and continue. So skip auto updates and click next. So here you need to provide the same middleware home used during our Fusion Middleware Infrastructure installation. So in my case, that would be U01 app Oracle product FMW. You can click on view to see the feature sets installed in that particular middleware home. As you can see, we have our Fusion Middleware Infrastructure 12c installed in this particular middleware home. So once you provide the middleware home, click next. Here we have three options: WebCenter Sites with examples, and WebCenter Sites satellite server. So first one installs WebCenter Sites and satellite server. Second option installs WebCenter Sites, satellite server along with examples. If you want to install only satellite server, then go for the third option. So I'm going ahead with the first option, WebCenter Sites. So select that option and click next. And make sure the prerequisite checks are successful here. And click next. And this is the summary screen. You can click install here. So this process might take approximately 5 minutes. I'll pause the video here and I'll get back when the installation process is complete. Okay, as you can see, the installation process complete now. So you can click next and then finish. Once the WebCenter Sites product is installed, we need to create sites related schema in the database using RCU, that is repository creation utility. But before starting repository creation utility, we need to make sure that our database is started and listening. So let me start my database quickly. Okay, my database is started now. Let's start repository creation utility now. So as I said earlier, RCU comes with infrastructure installation. So navigate to middleware home. In my case, it is U01 app Oracle product FMW and then Oracle common bin. So from this directory, execute RCU. So this is RCU welcome screen. You can click next here. As you can see, RCU can be used either to create or drop repository. In our case, it will be create repository. And there are two steps in repository creation: system load and product load. System load requires sysdba privileges. So select first option if you have sysdba privileges, which performs both system load and product load. If your DBAs are not willing to give you sysdba access, you can select option 2 to generate SQL scripts for system load. and you can give the generated SQL scripts to your DBAs to execute them as sysdba. So after the system load is performed using the SQL scripts, you can run RCU again and select the third option, which performs the product load. So I'm going ahead with option 1 as I have sysdba privileges. So select that option and click next. Here you need to provide your database details. In my case, the database is Oracle database. So, and my host name is PDOL6 WCS 1221. And then my port is 1521. My service name is PDB-ORCL. Username will be sys, and then my sys password. And the role should be sysdba. And then click next. So now the prerequisite checks will be done. Make sure all the prerequisites are successful and click OK. Here you need to provide a prefix for your schema. So I'll just give it as WCS, and then you need to select WebCenter Sites. So once you select WebCenter Sites, all dependent schema will be automatically selected, which will be Oracle Platform Security Services, Audit Services Append, and Audit Services Viewer. Under WebCenter Sites, you can see WebCenter Sites schema and WebCenter Sites Visitor Services schema. So once you select all these schemas, you can click next here. And then component specific prerequisites will be done. Make sure all the prerequisites are met, and then click OK. So here you need to provide a password for your schema. So you can either use the same password for all your schema, or you can use a different password for each schema. So for this demo, I'll go ahead with the first option, same password for all the schema. And then click next. So this is a table spaces screen. So you can accept the default table spaces, or if you want to customize your table spaces, you can click on manage table spaces here, and then you can customize your table spaces individually. So I'm going ahead with the default options. So I'll click close here, and then click next. Click OK here to confirm table space creation. So now the table spaces will be created in the database. Wait for the process to complete. Okay, the table space creation is done now. Click OK here, and this is repository summary screen. So you can verify all the schema here, and then click create. Now the actual repository creation process will start. So it might take approximately 3 to 4 minutes. I'll just pause the video here, and I'll get back when the process is complete. Okay, the repository creation process is complete now. Make sure all the component schema created successfully here, and then click close. So now our repository is ready. Next, we need to create a domain for our WebCenter sites. So navigate to Oracle Common bin. And then execute config.sh. So here you can either create a new domain or update an existing domain. In our case, it will be a new domain. So I'll select the first option, and you can provide a name for your domain. I'll just call my domain as WCS domain, and click next. On this screen, you need to select the templates related to WebCenter sites. So I'll go ahead with WebCenter sites, WebCenter sites visitor services, WebCenter sites insight, and then WebCenter sites site capture, WebCenter sites satellite server. So once you select these WebCenter sites related components, the other dependent templates will be selected automatically, which are Oracle Enterprise Manager, Oracle JRF, and WebLogic Coherence Cluster Extension. So once you select all these templates, you can click next here. Next, you need to provide a location for your applications. I'll accept the default location, which is under your middleware home, user projects, applications, and then your domain name, which is WCS domain. So click next here. Here you need to provide a password for your super user, that is WebLogic. So provide a password. And then click next. So here you need to select the domain mode and JDK. I'll go ahead with production mode and then verify your JDK path and then click next. Next, you need to provide the DB details of STB schema. STB is nothing but service table schema, which gets created by default when RCU is executed. It basically stores schema information such as schema prefixes, schema owners and passwords and so on. So provide the database details. In my case, the DBMS service will be PDB ORCL. The host name will be PDOL6, WCS 1221, and the port is 1521. And the schema owner would be WCS_STB. So here WCS is the schema prefix which I have given during repository creation, and then the schema password. So once you provide the database details, click on Get RCU Configuration and make sure the connection and schema retrieval is successful. You can see the messages here. It's successfully done here. So once you see this message, click Next, and then you should see all your WebCenter Sites related schema which you have created. Okay, so verify these details and then click Next. And JDBC component schema test will be done here. Make sure all the tests are successful for each schema and then click Next. So here you need to select administration server, node manager, manage servers, clusters and coherence. So provide the details of your admin server. I'll go ahead with the default server name, which is admin server, and then the default port, which is 7001. If you want, you can customize the values here. Then click Next. Here you need to provide the details of your node manager. So you have three options to create your node manager. You have per domain default location, and then per domain custom location, and then you have manual node manager setup. So I'll go ahead with the first option, per domain default location, and the default location will be under your domains, okay, which will be under your Fusion Middleware home, user projects, domains, and then your domain name, and then node manager. So I'll go ahead with the default location. Next, you need to provide node manager credentials. I'll just call my username as nmadmin, and then provide a password for your node manager and click Next. So these are the 5 managed servers which will be created in your WebCenter Sites domain. As you can see, WC Sites, which is your core WebCenter Sites managed server, will be running on 7005, and then you have satellite server on 7006, you have site capture server on 7007, you have visitor services on 7003, and insights on 7004. So if you want, you can customize the names here and ports. So I'll leave them as default for this demo and click Next. So if you want, you can add clusters here. So for this demo, I'm not creating any clusters, but in production environments, you might need to create clusters for different managed servers. Click Next. So you can accept the default values for coherence clusters and click Next. Next, you need to create a machine, which is nothing but your node manager machine. So select Unix machine tab here, as we are using Linux 6.7, and then click Add. You can name your machine whatever you want. I'll leave the default value, and then this is the default port for your node manager, which is 5556, and click Next. Next, you need to assign your managed servers to the newly created machine. So I'll just select my managed servers and assign them to new Unix machine 1 and click Next. This is the configuration summary of your WebCenter Sites domain. So you can verify all the details here and the paths of different components here, and then click Create. Okay, the domain is created successfully, as you can see here. You can click Next here and then Finish. So once your domain is created, next we need to start the domain. So navigate to your domain home, which will be under Fusion Middleware, and then user projects, domains, and then WCS domain. So under your domain home, navigate to your bin directory. Here you need to execute start node manager.sh to start your node manager. So tail the log to see the status of your node manager startup. Okay, as you can see, our node manager is started on port 5556. So next we need to start our admin server. So before starting admin server, you need to create a boot.properties file. So navigate to your domain home again, and then create a security directory. That would be mkdir-p servers, admin server, and then security. So you need to create boot.properties under this location. So let me create my boot.properties file. So you need to provide a WebLogic administrator username and password in your boot.properties. So my username will be WebLogic, and then my password. Save this file. Now you are ready to start your admin server. So from your domain home, execute start weblogic.sh. So again, tail the log to check the status of the domain startup. So I'll just speed up the video here during the startup, and I'll get back when the startup is complete. Okay, my admin server is started now. As you can see, server state changed to running. Next, let's access the admin console and start our managed servers. So the WebLogic administration console URL would be pdol6 wcs 1221:7001/console. Log in with your WebLogic administrator credentials. So this is the home screen of your WebLogic administration console, and you can see our domain here, WCS domain. If you go to environment and then servers, you can see all the managed servers created here. So you can start all the managed servers here. So you can start all the managed servers from this console. So let me go to the control tab and select all my managed servers and then hit start. So this process might take some time. I'll just pause the video here and I'll get back when all my managed servers are in running mode. Okay, all my managed servers are in running mode now. So it took approximately 8 minutes. So once all your managed servers are started, we need to configure WebCenter Sites before using it. First step in configuration is to provide OPSS permission to site security.jar file. So this jar file is responsible for site security and is located under middleware home, that is U01 app Oracle product FMW, and then WC sites _ common lib. So this is the jar file which is responsible for site security. So to provide these permissions, navigate to domain home, which will be under U01 app Oracle product FMW user projects domains WCS domain, and then WC sites bin. So navigate to this directory and then execute grant OPSS permission.sh. So provide WebLogic username and password when prompted. Okay, the process is complete now. Once the OPSS permissions are given, access sites configuration URL to configure WebCenter sites. So let's get back to our browser again and then access WebCenter sites config setup screen. So that would be PDOL6 WCS 1221 colon 7005 slash sites slash sites config setup. So this is the WebCenter sites configurator homepage. So you can click begin on this page. So this process should be done only for the first time when WebCenter sites domain is created. So click begin to start your WebCenter sites configuration. So provide WebCenter sites shared directory, or you can accept the default location. So the default location will be under your domain home, WebCenter sites, and then WC sites config. So if you want, you can customize this location. So this is the shared location for your WebCenter sites. So I'm accepting the default for this demo and then click next. Next, you need to provide the JNDI data source name, and the default value is WC sites DS. So if you have customized the data source for some reason, you can find your data source name in your WebLogic administration console. If you navigate to services and then data sources, here you can find the data source name. So this is the data source JNDI name used for your WebCenter sites. The default value is WC sites DS. So provide that JNDI data source name and then click next. Next, you need to provide web application parameters. So that is nothing but your host name and the port number. So my host name is PDOL6 WCS 1221. And then the WebCenter sites port number is 7005. And if you're doing a secure connection to your WebCenter sites, you can select yes here and install your certificates and stuff. So I'm going ahead with the default values here and click next. Next, we have CAS deployment information, where you need to provide the host name and ports. So you can accept the default values. It will automatically pick up your host name and port numbers. If you want to change these host names, if you have not used the default values, then you can modify these values here on this screen. So I'm going ahead with the default values as I'm using the default port numbers. And then click next. Next, you need to provide the WebCenter sites administrator accounts. So you have different accounts for your WebCenter sites. That is system administrator account, and then application administrator account, and then satellite server account. Okay, you need to provide a password for all these accounts, or you can use the default password. So the default password is mentioned here for each account. So if you want, you can customize the passwords as per your requirements. The username will be content server for system administrator account, and then application administrator account, the username will be FW admin, and then you can provide some password. And then your satellite server account, you can provide a password for that as well, or you can use the default password if you wish to. Okay, you can click next here, and this is the configuration summary. You can verify the details, and you can click test. So it will test your WebCenter sites configuration which you have provided. So once the test is successful, you can start the configuration, which will update respective config files and the database values. So as you can see, the tests are successful. You can click start here, which starts your actual configuration. Okay, the configuration process is complete now. I have accelerated the video here, and the configuration process took approximately 15 minutes. Once the configuration process is complete, we need to restart WCS managed server. So let me restart my managed server quickly. Okay, my WebCenter sites managed server is started now. So now we can access sites admin console, which will be running on port 7005/sites. So So this is WebCenter Sites login screen. Log in with your administrator account, that is FW admin, and then the password. Okay, here you need to select a site. So by default we'll have only one site, that is admin site. So select admin site. And then you have two applications. One is web admin, that is web experience management admin, and then the next one is the admin interface. So if you go to web admin, so as I said earlier, we can create users, sites and roles using your web admin console. So this is how web admin interface looks like. So here, as you can see, you can create sites, you can create users, you can create roles using this particular console. And then you have another console called as admin interface. If you click on admin interface icon here, it will take you to the admin interface screen where you can administer your WebCenter Sites environment. So this is WebCenter Sites admin interface homepage. So and that's it. You now have a working Oracle WebCenter Sites environment, and you have seen how to configure sites and access sites consoles. So if you have any questions, please post them in the comments, and please have a look at my blog on this topic for step-by-step instructions and screenshots. I'll leave the link in the description. So hope you liked the video and found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button down below and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos on various middleware technologies. That's it for now, and have a good day and see you in the next one.